Here we go. Y'all ready for it? That's 2020 right there, that hill. Just keep going, stay strong. Without further ado, this is Wizard in the Woods, episode 6. So, as I'm syncing up today, somebody does what I do and leaves little crystals and rocks on the trail. And that was amazing. So, rock and roll. Shout out to whoever left this. So, how y'all doing today? Everybody hanging in there? 2020 is ruthless. You gotta stay strong. Gotta prepare in many ways. This is gonna be your spiritual digestion for the day. Tap into my highest self as I provide you this message. I am strong. I am fearless. Which I am limitless. As you know, it's been a tough year for everybody, man. This global push and globalist agenda to get us all taken out one way or another, turn on each other, and just let the lies and corruption continue to lead has just been a phenomenal attempt to fuck us up. But I'm here to tell you, once we stand together, they can't stop shit. So, I tap into the love frequency as I say these messages. Some of it I'm learning not to sugarcoat so much because I've got a really kind and gentle heart. So by all means know that my fearlessness has been caused by my need and pursuit to express myself, because I refuse to continue to sit on the sidelines as this goes on when, I've figured out a purpose and that I can play in it. So more will be revealed. Today's message is feeding yourself. What? Everybody feeds themselves, right? The question is, what are you feeding yourself? What are you feeding your physical? What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your spirit? Are you authentically living through your purpose? Or are you just going through the motions, hoping it'll change, not making any gradual daily efforts to get there? So I'm going to tap into intermittent fasting today too, because I think it'll be a good and useful tool for all of us to practice. And I have some experience with it, So I think that ties into what are we feeding ourselves. So, what are we feeding ourselves? Are we immediately jumping on the phone when we wake up, and that pursuit and that fear that we might have missed something? Or like me, with my new business, catching up, trying to see what needs to go out for the day or get back to everybody, because I'm a firm believer in responding to everybody and sharing my heart and soul into every relationship. It's bigger than the business I've created. It's bigger than just 444 Limitless. And it's always been bigger than me. So sometimes I forget that. I'm just as selfish as anybody. And as I'm learning to unprogram myself from that, we live a little bit more spiritually every day. So, today's message: what can we feed ourselves to ensure that we thrive in this matrix, that we thrive in this universe, that we thrive in our vessel, Because I'm here to remind you, you are a human being made of light, a spirit having a human experience. You are not this body, you are of the universe, the essence of a soul. And as they lock down the world, they're going to be playing these mental games in order to turn us on each other and to turn us on ourselves, in order to brainwash us to continue to play our role in this slave-based society, as they rob us, take our babies, and they pollute us with poison and poisonous messages and poisonous food. So, as always, this is a vegan page. I promote veganism fully, 100,000%. Your choice is your choice. But just like many of the things in 2020, once it's not a choice anymore, you don't have any rights. Once they force vaccines on us, you ain't got no more rights. As many as us choose to wear a mask, I want to encourage you to do some studies on the effectiveness and the health risks of doing so, but also the fact that it's a muzzle, it ain't a mask, it ain't for your protection. And every time you hear for your protection, for the greater good, it means for control, So we're going to tap into feeding ourselves. So I feed myself with gratitude. Some days that's easier said than done. And some days that's all it is, man. Like today, I woke up in such a grateful state. We're in such an alignment that we're going to continue on in the woods, getting some good fresh air, even though it's raining today. We too shall carry on. Even though I already did a workout at the house, this is necessary, and it allows me to dualistically function, as in recording this message, spreading awareness, spreading love. That's the way of showing gratitude. I'm so grateful for where I'm at in my place in life, that I'm able to pour into others, and that's the importance of taking care of ourselves. So, what else in the paradigm of feeding ourselves is our mental selves? What are we telling ourselves? Are we affirming positive things? Are we affirming negative things? Doubt? Because if you think it can definitely be manifested in the physical. So what we continually tell ourselves and mentally create, either a picture for ourselves or a picture of the reality or anything we vision and dream to manifest, it's going to eventually be thought as a belief and create a belief system. So I encourage everybody to be mindful and aware of the thoughts that they feed themselves every day. And that's why I said I am in alignment, I am fearless, and I am limitless. And I also wanted to remind you that anything you put after I am, you are collectively reaffirming to the universe that that's what you are. And that's what you will manifest and start to believe. So, sounds like homework. And a lot of things take a little bit of conscious effort at first, but then they collect into a subconscious form. So remind yourself, and I want to remind you that, it's deeper than just what we think. The collective conscious, unconscious, and subconscious work together. And we act more out of our subconscious than we do our conscious. But as we plant them seeds in the conscious, they turn subconsciously and unconsciously. So, what else are we feeding ourselves? Are we watching TV and believing that bullshit anymore? Yeah, it's cool to tune out sometimes at night. And most of the time, though, now, especially with all the bullshit in Hollywood going on that's come to light, I can't take a lot of this shit seriously. And be it so fake, or they're trying to predictive program us, that I lose focus of it and start trying to work into something else anyway, or I get distracted. That happens to everybody, I promise. So I encourage us to look at, what we're feeding ourselves through the tell lies to your vision, television. So I find, though, if I watch positive, encouraging messages on YouTube, which this will be released on, or if I tap into some nice learning videos, or I still try to balance out something that can help me, it has been so helpful for feeding my mental. But also, taking a time to meditate like I will do after this Wizard in the Woods episode, and just take a look out on the lake, think about what I'm grateful for, how beautiful nature is, and just take a moment to realign and collect and slow down for a minute. Being conscious of each breath, being conscious of my thoughts, and just taking a moment for gratitude. So then we got, what are we feeding our spirit? I say this is a tough one to touch on. I usually try to fill my spirit with love. What I do to myself is reaffirming my spiritual love. What I do for others, reaffirms my spiritual love. And what I'm doing to the universe reaffirms my spiritual love. And to the life beings, even the animals, So many billions and billions of animals are killed for sensory pleasure that's not necessary every single year, All life wants to live and deserves to live. So if I'm just vegan for the animals today, that's enough. But I also balance a nice, healthy, whole food, plant-based type eating and meals planned around either. Lately I've been foraging mushrooms. Shout out to Dank Stones, my buddy who shared his experience with me on that. And it's been really cool being able to forage food and making a meal and a dish around it. So I encourage people to look at that too. But also, what we feed our spirit, what we pray about, whatever you call it in your spiritual practice, whatever we direct our thoughts towards a spiritual outcome about. So, which ties into the mind game, the mental playing field that connects the two. So, and this universe is just one big thought, the universal mind, it expresses itself everywhere. And since everything is energy and thoughts are energy, we can co-collectively create our own reality. So, we're at 11 minutes and 28 seconds. Message complete, download complete. You are worthy. I believe in you. I love you. Don't know you, might know you, but this is my message to you. So, intermittent fasting, let's touch on this before we head out. My experience with intermittent fasting has been amazing. Not only can it help people who have blood pressure and diabetes issues in helping insulin and glucose response, it also has just helped me as a person who tends to overeat. And an abundance of plant foods, you can eat a whole lot. That's another benefit to being vegan. So I've learned to balance it out. And over the last, it's been over 2 years because I'm almost 3 years into this vegan journey. Over the last at least 2.5 years, I found intermittent fasting and it has changed my life. I don't eat anywhere from 12 to 4 and I stop eating. Sometimes it gets late, especially with the way things have been going this year, and my schedule hasn't been exactly what it usually is, but for the most part, anywhere from 12 to 4, depending on if I'm working into something or on something, it's a perfect time for me. Some people do the 16, some people do the 20, some people do a 24, and I'm about to start looking into doing an actual extended fast. And as I do this, I have more energy than ever. I start with my 1 dose of coffee for the day. Shout out to VitaCup. This is not sponsored by them, but it's an amazing product. You get vegan D3s in there, a load of B12 and other B vitamins. And I use the Lightning Blend, which has nootropics in there, which if you didn't know, it's a natural plant form of that pill like off the movie Limitless. Wow. I'm telling you, I've been doing that for about a year. Amazing. So after I do that, I just make sure to hydrate completely. And no matter when I do break my fast, I start with fruits. And most of the time it's a smoothie or a smoothie bowl as you see on this page. And it's just an amazing way to fuel your body and get it the right nutritional needs. On top of that extra boost I get from the coffee, I don't find myself needing anything for a while after all that. And I have optimum premium performance. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I do struggle at night with overeating, and that's something I am working on. Let's be transparent. And also after that, if I don't properly prepare, ooh, there's a snake. Hey, beautiful. If I don't properly prepare, then I tend to overindulge. So the key is balance, and that's all I'm going to touch on today. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Take care of yourself.